Hello, YouTubers, friends, compatriots. Hooligan shields, desolation, expensive vassals, drones. I'm a useful idiot, and today I'm going to talk about drones again. Now, I've done two previous videos on Planet of the Drones, talking about the expanding industry and use of drones. And this is a huge part of American military future. And I also did a video on the future military is here, about the paradigm shift in U.S. military tactics, strategy, and of course weaponry. And the drone is the killer of choice. And some new figures just came out, and they give us a very clear picture of how much this technology and the tactics and strategy that go along with it have advanced just in the last year. So the figures that have come out show that in Afghanistan, and of course everyone thinks about Pakistan as the center of drone strikes. As it turns out, in the last 8 years, between 2004 and 2012, there's been 338 drone strikes in Pakistan, and between 2,000 and 3,000 people killed. And that brings up a whole another topic as to the fact that we can actually have near 350 drone strikes in a country that we're not at war with and kill 2,000 to 3,000 people. So that's a little striking. But to get back to the numbers, when you look at Afghanistan, it turns out that is the big picture. And I've already discussed the idea with friends of mine that Afghanistan has proven to be a very effective testing ground for all the new military technology and all the technology that we need for the future. So Afghanistan can be called a giant training camp for international soldiers that go in and out of the country, for mercenaries, and for the testing out of all this new technology that will be appropriate in these sort of battle theaters that we find in the future, where we're not necessarily fighting nation states, we're fighting insurgencies. So let's get down to the numbers. So in Afghanistan in 2009, there were 255 drone strikes. 2010, there were 278 drone strikes. In 2011, there was 294 drone strikes. And in 2012, there were 333 drone strikes. So well over 1,600 drone strikes in Afghanistan in the last 4 years at least. And there's no numbers available for the couple years before that, but we can ascertain that it was probably between 50 and 100. And the other thing that is a little bit of good news anyway is that the civilian death rate a couple years ago was about 60%, and they've gotten it down to about 10%. But of course, it's the government telling us that, so we don't necessarily want to believe that. And another interesting stat is the fact that drones are 9% of all aerial attacks now in Afghanistan, and that's the figure I want to talk about, because that shows a huge paradigm shift, that 10% of all aerial attacks in Afghanistan are done by drones. And I would say that at some point that number is going to go up dramatically, and that as our drone fleets grow and the armament gets more deadly, we're going to see drones, we're going to see like swarms of drones. So that will be very deadly indeed. And then the numbers are also get more interesting, because the UK also uses drones in Afghanistan. So that adds another 50 to 100 drone strikes a year. So we're talking about 2,000 drone strikes in Afghanistan. And I think that says a lot. And they even have figures for how many times there were weapons releases. And in 2009, there was 1,800. 2010, there was 1,800. 2011, there was 2,000. 2012, there was 1,400. So a total of 5,000 to 6,000 weapons releases with all these drone strikes. And that can be multiple weapons fired at each time. So those numbers are a little misdirected. So, and another interesting thing about the difference between Pakistan and Afghanistan is the drone strikes that are done in Pakistan are done from remote locations in the United States. And I think that helps maintain the quasi-legality of it, because in Afghanistan, the drone strikes are actually directed in the field. by the soldiers on the ground, boots on the ground. So anyway, I just wanted to bring that up because I find that really interesting. Look at those numbers now and be clear that we've had over 2,000 drone strikes in Afghanistan over the last 4 years. So drone technology is the future. It is the future of the U.S. military. It has a number of advantages. There's no pilots at risk. These craft are very economical, and that is a big factor. Economics is going to play a continuing big role in military hardware. And if they can amass gigantic fleets of heavily armed drones, it certainly looks a lot more attractive than a billion-dollar F-18 or whatever that new wasteful jet project is. So anyway, remarkable numbers, and it says a lot about the future military, U.S. military strategy and tactics and technology. And every day we're going to hear about something new with drone technology. So welcome to Empire of the Drones. I'm a useful idiot. Don't you be one too.